So I called up the dealership again today because I finally got the title in for the Jeep and it's under the wrong name. Uh, basically, what happens is I go online, I bought the Jeep, go online every, couple of days or so, and I check the Arizona DMV website to check my profile to see if the Jeep has been put on my file yet. And hasn't. 2 weeks go by, it finally shows up on there. Well, shows up as registered to a Donald. And I'm like, that's not my name. So I go into the DMV, ask them if they could change that. They say, no, we can't. We can't change any names on titles, even if the names are spelled wrong, anything like that. You have to go through the dealership who sold you the vehicle or whoever they sent the paperwork through. So I call up the dealership. I was like, hey, your third-party outfit, the Footwork, their auto title and licensing company just down the street from you guys, they put in the wrong name on this title. And they go, yeah, okay, here's their number, call them up, tell them what's going on. Well, I call them up. The lady goes, no, we don't make mistakes here. We don't do that. The dealership fucked up. They sent us the wrong paperwork with the wrong name on it. I was like, they can't do that because I have all the paperwork right here and it all has my right name on it. It says Daniel right on it. And the lady goes, no. What happened is you got the right paperwork, and then when they sent us paperwork, they put the wrong name on there. It's like, how do they send you the wrong paperwork when it's literally the same paperwork I got, just photocopies? How do you do that? And how do you get Donald from Daniel? Makes no sense. But called them, dealt with a whole bunch of stuff. Like the entire time the lady's telling me, no, you're wrong. It's the dealership messed up. The dealership is completely wrong. They failed. You have to call them. Well, I was like, I'm not going to call them back because it's your paperwork. And she's like, okay, fine, I'll call them and we'll see whose paperwork is wrong. Well, waited 2 hours, called them back. Like, hey, did you get it figured out? They're like, no, but we'll get back to you tomorrow. Well, tomorrow came. Nothing. Called. They refused to answer. Called the dealership and got a hold of the big boss man dealership and told him what was going on, and told him, hey, yeah, the Footwork people said that you're the ones that messed up the paperwork. Well, he went to his office, pulled up all the paperwork, pulled my file, pulled everything out, looked through the whole thing, all the paperwork that he got, all the paperwork that he got back from them, and it all says Daniel. Well, turns out what they do is they take the paperwork, they go online through their setup, and they put in all the information on the DMV site, mark it as sold, and they because they're a title service, they have access to the DMV site. Well, they put in the wrong name, hit enter, then they sent it off. Yeah, the paperwork says Daniel, but they put in Donald, and they refused to accept that they misspelled something or made a mistake. Now I have to jump through hoops. Tomorrow I got to call the dealership again to remind him that he has to get a hold of this Footwork outfit and have them fix this, because under Arizona law, a title with a misspelled name is fraudulent, and a dealership that sells a vehicle and puts a fake name or an incorrect name on a title is liable for fraud charges. So that's a big deal, like a big deal. If a dealership gets convicted of fraud like that, they could lose their licensing for selling vehicles. They could lose a lot. And then if one's messed up, then the state has to go through every vehicle, every title, every VIN number, and check everything on their lots. And that's a long investigation. So here I sit with a vehicle titled to my address. It's in my account, but it's titled to somebody else. Yeah. But, worst case scenario, it takes 3, maybe 4 weeks before I get a corrected title. Best case scenario, they fix it, and in a little over 2 weeks, I get a corrected title, and I don't got to worry. It's just, this hassle shouldn't have happened. All somebody has to do is accept that they made a mistake. You misspelled something. Oh well. Shit happens. Really. Shit happens. You made a misspelling. Oh well. Just own up to it, fix the mistake, and walk away. That's it. That's all you got to do. I mean, it makes you more adult to do so. But by saying somebody else did it and then, not talking to anybody or refusing phone calls, that makes you look childish. It makes your company look bad. And it really does hinder any future work that you might have. I mean, this dealership's been working with this company for a while because it's like right down the street. They could lose that entire dealership's, contract because they're making mistakes like this. And for a dealership to cut ties with a company like that, where they're making, $600 every time, something goes through. I mean, a dealership that sells, 5 cars a day, that's a lot of money per day. You're screwing yourself and your company. Just own up to it. Just say, yeah, I spelled it wrong. I'm sorry. Fix it. Don't argue. Don't say it's somebody else's fault. Don't push the blame onto somebody else when all the paperwork says that you messed up.